Alrighty, what is up, guys? Evanaldo here. Want to give you an update. Bitcoin, Ethereum. Want to talk about what I think could happen with traditional markets as well, and DXY. What could be in store for the week ahead. Here's on the macro. I don't want to spend too much time on the macro today, but obviously what I've been saying, a lot of similarities back here to 2019 potentially coming down. That was a 50% drop down if you don't count the pandemic. So I mean, if we do map this out. These are two big places. This first one is a 400 weekly. That would be a 50% kind of correction if you do hit there into the summer, into the end of the year, around 15K right now. Next one's a 500 weekly, around 60% drop down, 12K, 13K. Excuse me. I think if no more banks go down, and we do go into a recession, and the DXY starts to rally back, I think these places are in the cards. If more banks go down, more of a reason to get into Bitcoin, hyperinflation, whatever, they start quantitative easing too early or whatever, then you would probably be able to not go to these levels. You still probably would come down and retest 25 at some point, I would think, but that would be more of the case to kind of, really ugly inflationary, something of this nature. I don't think that's going to happen though, because look, this market cap was so much smaller here. You didn't have the leverage trading, at least not as much. I don't think you had any leverage exchanges in 2017, not yet. It was more after this rally or towards the end of it. Not as many people to knock it down, not as many whales and big things to knock it down. So I don't think you would just have a sustainable straight up rally like that. Also, market cap is higher. We're just out of that area. It's just a much different environment. Now, if we move on to lower time frames, the first thing I want to show you guys is we have a head and shoulders kind of forming here on Bitcoin. The target of that head and shoulders would be, I would say, it's a little bit subjective, but somewhere around, this pocket right here. This is your 200 weekly moving average. 26 is a huge area. Now, when could we hit that? I mean, if you do come down pretty quickly, the FOMC meeting's coming up. That's on Wednesday. If they raise rates, traditional markets come down. If we do come down pretty quickly here, that's a bit after the meeting, May 5th, later next week. That could absolutely be in store. If you look at what's happened, though, here, it could have a little bit more sideways. I think you're probably going to break one way or the other pretty soon. Obviously, bullish case would be this area, 32. In terms of as high, if we do pump up, big place is going to be around 35, this area. That would be similar to kind of 2019, where you came up a little bit higher after the split order size in the weekly. After this guy confirmed, you came up a little bit higher. It would be similar to what's going on here. It'd be pretty similar to this, and I think you would end up at 35. I don't really think you'd end up at 40, but obviously anything could happen. That's just my opinion. And if we go down to some of these lower timeframes here, how you could trade this, and this could be a potential, we are coming into a weekend a little bit risky, but a potential with good risk management, potential kind of swing short to try to get down these levels if you want to wait a little bit. If you're interested in some of my trades and some of the trades of two other amazing analysts, Lanacore and Crypto Bullzone, link down below to the premium Discord. I think it's going to help you guys out a lot. It is a really good value for what it's going on, for what we're bringing you right now with those two new analysts. I definitely don't think we're going to be keeping prices this low forever. So get it while it's hot. And also, if you guys want to trade, really good trading competition going on with MEXC down below. This is one of the exchanges you still don't need a VPN to use. Zero limit fees, or really low market fees as well. So obviously you got some good odds here. If you want to win this, first place gets $250, top 10 people get something, $10, 6th through 10th. Not too many people are in it yet. It's going on for another 7 days. You got some really good odds to win this, so check out the link down below. This guy's 11%, 250. If you could beat 11%, I mean, this is gonna, based on, you only need to deposit $200, take a volume of 40K. So I think if you get stopped at like one or two trades, that probably should be able to fulfill that. Nobody's right all the time, so check that out. Link down below. And yeah, let's see here. So yeah, going down to that area, that's what we're talking about in the head and shoulders. And then if you're going on to kind of these lower time frames, kind of in between, money flow coming up in the 3 hour, that could bring us up a little bit more. Hourly as well. Hourly is a little conflicting. That's typical of what you see on a Friday night or weekends, choppy. This looks like more bearish with the trigger wave. We'll see if that finally brings us down. Maybe not, maybe more of a sideways type of weekend here. And then if we look at, I'm just curious about it looks like more of that head and shoulders starting to form on the 2-day. 2-day not looking too bad with the green dot money flow coming higher. That's not looking awful. That would be more of the bullish case. I'd say even 3 a day. Money flow coming up, a VWAP coming out up, more neutral there. Daily, I think, would be more bearish with that could be a potential trigger wave to form. That could even be a blood diamond. So I would say the daily is more bearish here. I do think when all is said and done, sometime in May, you will at least test the 200 weekly moving average. Could be wrong, obviously, but that's what I think. And if we move on to Ethereum here, let's move on to Ethereum. So it's kind of the same thing. Ethereum looks like it's forming somewhat of a diamond pattern. You got the head and shoulders, and it's also a diamond pattern. The technical target for that is going to be down here at around 1,700. If Bitcoin goes to 26, 25, 26, I think Ethereum would definitely go to 1,700. Retest these areas over here. Money flow seems to be coming out on the 16-hour. Daily looks like it could print a red dot pretty soon. A lot of it's the same as Bitcoin. 2 days more I would say 2 days the main bullish case, but other than that, it does look a bit more bearish, especially money flow coming down, trigger wave. This could be a blood diamond about to print on the 12 hours, so keep that in mind. I would definitely be leaning more bearish here into the next week. I mean, if we were to play out, I'm just saying, like if we kind of estimate, something of this nature, it would probably take longer if you really zoom out and see how price obviously moves. If it's after the, it's a lot of different, we don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but probably after the Fed raises rates, 25 basis points on a Wednesday, and we'll likely see the DXY move up as well. I want to look at the DXY in just a second. Money flow coming out here on the 30-minute. Lower time frames definitely looking more bearish right now. I do currently just have one short open. I don't have an ETH trade in currently, but I do have a Bitcoin short in the exclusive Discord. I want to move on to the DXY right now because this is interesting, guys. So the 3-day right here is printing a bullish div, and you're hitting obviously very psychological area 100. I think that as long as the Fed raises rates, and as long as Bitcoin and traditional markets could see a pullback, which I think if the Fed raises rates, they will, this should be able to show a little bit of strength. If it doesn't and we roll over and go down lower, things start to get a little bit dicey here. That's where you're looking at hyperinflation. America's in trouble. I'm in America. I got to root for the Dixie here. I think this daily too, money flow coming up. A lot of yellow X's, look for sell exhaustion. We're seeing that money flow coming up. I think you could get a jump with the Dixie. I'm really hoping for that here. And I want to show you as well, just let's look at the cattle chart. This is forming a nice double top from way back when here. This is all the way, if we look at this is starting to pull back a little bit too. This is a pretty big double top all the way back from 2015. Now, for the sake of the country, for the sake of, a lot of things, I hope this starts to pull back. Because with all these Fed rate raises, if this doesn't start to significantly pull back, we have a problem. We're in a major inflationary issue. If it's able to pull back, I think it will. Looks like there's signs. Nothing goes up forever here. This pulls back, then we kind of enter the recession, enter the deflationary stage where NASDAQ and the S&P 500 start to go down. Now, speaking of the NASDAQ, let's look at that. Or actually, I just want to look at Bitcoin dominance just to show you guys really quick. This is showing more strength. I think this is going to kind of break out as we see more of a pullback, and I think Bitcoin will kind of continue to outperform Ethereum. The ballsy trade here would be A to ETH. I think in best case scenario, you do something like this, similar to 2019, jump up here and outperform Ethereum for Cardano. So it could be, if you want to mess with an altcoin, not financial advice, but if I was to mess with an altcoin, it would probably be Cardano here, solely kind of based on this chart. And obviously, I think Cardano is going to do pretty well in the next bull run. It's a pretty large market cap. You're probably not going to make any crazy gains with it, but you could get a nice return. You get a pretty penny with it in the next bull run, I think. Could be a good place. Not financial advice. Now, if we move on, I want to look at the NASDAQ here. If we move on here, obviously hitting a big kind of place here. Weekly about to confirm this this red dot. I believe I forget exactly how this works since this obviously doesn't trade 24/7, but this could probably going to confirm on Monday. Hitting this place, as long as the Fed raises the rates, I think you might be able to see a pullback here. It kind of a triple top pattern. 2-day looks good, just like Bitcoin. And 2 days the main bullish case, but money flow coming out there. Other than that trigger wave, as you get to some of these lower time frames, this does not look as good. So I do think, maybe you have a little bit of juice here, but I think you could, even if you do, maybe somewhat of a double top pattern here, and then you kind of come down. I'm thinking that's where we're at. I'm thinking we're close to that. And if you look at too, like the I don't know, the 8-day, this looks bad. Money flow coming out right here. I mean, I think this inevitably will. I don't know if you're going to go down to these crazy lows here. This would be bad recession. You might. I mean, it could take time. It could definitely take time. The DXY might hit, 130 in summer of 2024, and this may hit these lows. That's typical of recessions. That's absolutely possible. 60% is what we saw the S&P 500 go down in 08. It could be NASDAQ could act more like that in 2024, in 2023, towards the end of this year. So that's what we're looking at right there. That's a big possibility. I wanted to show you Tesla just briefly on the 2-week. This looks as bad as possible. This looks terrible. Also, I think I talked about it last time. Coinbase on the 2-week. This really follows Bitcoin a lot. I mean, this follows Bitcoin quite a bit, even into this rally. I think if this goes down, we're going to see a lot. So I think the odds are pretty high of a summer lull. I think, there's some good opportunities for potential shorts. Swing shorts right now, most likely. Could be wrong. Not right all the time. It's all about hedging your bets in a way, using good risk management. I talk a lot about that in my course. If you guys are interested in my trading course, really good course. A lot of people have really liked it. Link down below, discount code BEARMARKET20, so check that out as well. Also, link down below for the premium Discord, and a link down below to the MEXC trading competition I talked about earlier as well. All right, guys, that's all I got. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.